So today we will see how to implement a database in our Flask library, like library project. Already we have worked how to create a SQLite database, like a file system database, using SQL Alchemy. So we will be doing the same thing in our library project. So now, uh, because we already yesterday we have seen how to do all the CRUD operations, like create, read, update, and delete. Now we will see how to build using the knowledge what we have gained yesterday and day before yesterday. We will be implementing that in our project. So as of now, if you see, we are actually storing all the if any new books, we are storing it in a list, right? So now we will be storing whatever the data available, we will be storing into the database. So as of now it is not created, so we will be going step by step. So generally when we are able to add that, so any book we need to add to the database, it should redirect to the home page, so just like before, but here the data should be stored in the database, so we will be verifying that also. So now so just I kept everything. So yesterday whatever we copied, whatever we have worked upon, like in SQL Alchemy, we have just using the same syntaxes here. As, uh, so we are creating a, so just I will be creating a TB, not any new books TB, just I'm creating books TB. So just try this. It's three forward slashes are there. So here if you see, there is no instance folder created. So we haven't run this yet. So the same thing as just we copy pasted whatever we initialize the app, configured the database, and then uh, we are using the same ID, title, author, and rating. Uh, if not needed, we can actually comment this out. So now here the table schema will be getting created. Now before seeing that, here uh, what we are doing in the add, like routing. So whenever we add any book, so it, as of now we are appending to the all books list, so it will be appended. But as of now what we will be doing, we will be commenting this out, and we will be commenting these two lines. It is nothing but we are actually adding whatever the user enters the data into this DB, uh, what are the table we have created, it will enter. Here we are not giving any ID, so it automatically creates an ID, so that also we will see. And we are redirecting to the home URL, like again. So here as of now we are actually returning only this one, like returning index HTML and books equal to all books from here, whatever we are appending this here. But now I'm just commenting this. So now to display what are available on this. For example, whenever we add these two books, for example, Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, and uh, to display that two books, we have to redirect and we have to get this data from the database, not from the any Python variable. So how we will be doing? We are just again we are querying. So yesterday again we saw this kind of a reading of data from SQL Alchemy. The same using uh, DB object we have initialized. So on session and execute, we can actually use a get 404 also. Get so we'll be using that going forward. And here, so the same thing book and just we are selecting the total table to display. Just we are selecting it's like select book table and we are just ordering by book title. So we are so now if we see here yesterday we have used scalars, but to get hold of all elements we are using all method to get hold of that. So just for our how this all books yesterday it's a scalar object right now. If I just print this, so yeah, so the index.html doesn't change just because here we are just displaying a book, what are the book title rating. So here the index.html is not changing. So we just worked on how we are storing the data using SQL Alchemy and SQL this one. Still scanning the indexes. So just waiting. Okay, let's try to run if it is able to run. Okay, got run. It got started. I am just opening. As of now, there won't be any data. So it got created. If you see the folder got created, then there is a book DB. Uh, Now if I just oh, example, okay, let's go here. My library, as of now, library is empty. Even we can check on this, or we can just close this in order to save our like, resources. So okay, now if I just clicking on add a new book, it should redirect me to this page. Now I am adding Harry Potter. Check rolling rating 9. So if I just want to see, because now we can see the so library project, starting library project, and instance got created, and I'm opening this book DB. So as of now there is no data, and if I just click on add, okay, built index is not mapped. So where it is failing. It is failing it. Okay, let me just go back. So title, other rating, why it is, and if I just hmm, why it is again db add new book start. Is the data. Let me just retry it again. I just Harry Potter Caroline 9 unmapped instance. So our unmapped instance dictionary is not mapped. Okay, let's see why it's happening. We are adding the same thing, right? Requested from title. Okay, just let me copy paste this code and okay. Sorry. So here what happened, because we already defined title here ID. So whenever we are if I just go back, just I have So here what I am doing is I haven't changed here because this is just like another key value pair I am defining, but because we already defined. Because here we are not getting. So we have books DB, the same thing, the same thing. So we have defined ID, title, author, rating, create all. Okay. The one thing is like should be. So it should be an object. So it should work right now. Okay. So we are creating an object where we are giving all the data. So why it is? I think this is not correct syntax. Title equal to. And again, I think this is. It should be in this way. I got it now. Okay, so now it got fixed. So just what happened here is the before I haven't changed the dictionary kind of stuff where we are defining a new book equal to dictionary where we are storing all the data in key value pairs in the form of a dictionary. But here we will be storing in a objects database object, right? So we are creating an object of that class book what we defined here, and then we are adding that object using db.session method. And now if I just try to run it again, library is empty, and now Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling 9. So it is actually adding. So now I want to add another book as per this one. I'll have to say two cities. Charles Dickens. getting some 7.5. So here, if I just go to my uh, query browser, so it's actually adding. So we haven't given any ID, so it automatically getting uh, ID got added. So this is how this looks like. So yeah, so the first two requirements, adding new book to DB, is successfully completed. So the main thing is like here we will be careful when we are creating any no database object. So we have to be uh, like this. We need to define instead of a dictionary, because we are creating an object of this book class. So now and then we have changed only this part and this part. So again, so yeah, so it's like if you see here there are two books, book 1, book 2. So it is just printing a book and ID. So just it's getting hold of uh, the data, like what our records are there. No, it is in scalar, and we are actually having two records, it can say, in all books variable. So now going to the second part. Next part is like we should have an edit rating tag defined. So when the button pressed, it should take the user to edit rating page, and you can enter rating. So if you carefully observe here, so first we have to, on the index.html page, we have to change this thing, and then we have to define edit rating HTML page we need to create. So we have been creating. So now just create new HTML file. So now by default it got created using, this is the advantage of edit rating. So just I'm giving, but here what we need to do again, before here we need to define edit uh, edit rating, and I just go here in main.py. uh, I want some edit edit. And as of now I'm just not coding anything. uh, Now if I just go back to check my main page, and just if I refresh it, it should have edit rating tag. Okay, it is coming down. So anyways, so As of now, if I just click, but there is no code I have defined, and so that's why it is not working. So if I just, so we haven't rendered any template, right? We haven't rendered any. So if I just return here edit rating.html template, if I just go back and if I click on it, it should take me to refresh edit rating. Here the title is edit rating because we haven't defined any h1 heading also. The HTML page is coming, but it's a blank HTML page. Before we have got error, right? But here now we are not getting any error because we haven't defined anything in that HTML, edit HTML. So now just I'm going back, edit rating HTML. So it should be something like this form only. So just I'm copy pasting this, but we need to edit. So now it should be URL for edit. Now if I just go back here, what it is saying. So now click on edit rating. It should give me book name and then current rating and then so now we have to get hold of this data. Uh, so how we will be getting hold of this data is here. So there is actually two links provided. So this URL building, we already seen the URL building. So the edit, so URL for login, URL for the, so other is how to get hold of the form data or the database. So here, this one, if you want to get this hold of this parameters, so how we can get this using this request.args to get. So we just copy paste this and we can explain better. So now we are editing render template edit.html, but here the book we are passing is book selected. So it's a similar kind of way what we are passing in the index.html where we are getting all records. So here, but we need only one record, whatever we have selected the tag. Depending on that, we need to get that ID. So here, what we are doing, we are just uh, going from, just for explanation, we are going from down to bottom to top approach. So here we are using book ID. So whenever we need edit HTML page, so when it's not a post request, but it's just a get request or just displaying of edit .html. So here we will be displaying this kind of stuff. So we need to get the data of that ID record, and we will be displaying on the web. So book ID request dot get. But whenever we want post like update the record, so we have to again request out from ID, and we are getting whatever yesterday we have seen book to update, right? The same get 404 uh, a method we are using here, and update dot rating equal to whatever the form from the rating. So the form is again, go back here and KCD is E. Okay, let me put it. So just I'm taking this template as reference again. So here if I just go to this, and if I just check here, whenever we are clicking on edit, these two paragraphs we are actually this is just we are displaying, you can say paragraph element, or you can say some heading element. So instead of that we are just querying. So now just click all this, and here book name we are getting hold of that book from the request, right? Again, if I just go back to here, so we are getting hold of this book, whatever on the tag we click on, uh, we will get the data. So it's like in the index.html here, we will get book.id the same from here. So it's like we are using the same thing, like it's like whenever we click on edit rating, let's see edit rating. So okay, we got this index.html. I think we need to pass. Second again, we just confirm again. Hmm. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. We need to pass the book ID so that we can actually fetch it from the uh, URL itself. Okay, let me again go back to our PyCharm, and here what it is doing. Let us edit. Okay, that's what. Okay, that's the main thing, right? So here URL for, and we are passing some ID using, like for example, we are passing username called John Doe. So here we are passing ID. Now if I just go back here and if I click edit rating, why it is not working again? Please check the spelling. Okay, it will be URL for edit. So just inside, just go here. And actually, if I keep, yeah, keeping it side, the list element beside only. Now href URL for edit. Mm, okay, okay, because it's outside of element. I think that's why it haven't given our ID. So if we see here, we are passing this ID. Whatever, whenever clicking the ID, we are passing this. So generally, in any URL also, whenever we are clicking on links, you might have seen this kind of data popping up on the URL. Any other websites also. So after question mark, you can just see. It's not here. Gmail. So it's like again, for example, this kind of stuff, but it's not here. Now, if I just want to change writing again, so we are getting hold of this record because we are getting ID of that record. If I just change rating, it should update here, and if you see here, we can actually change the rating. Now I just want to check this also. Now the ID is populating to. Now if I just change rating to 8, now it is working perfectly fine. So here the main thing what we learned is so how to get hold of this ID from the URL. So that's what we have provided. So and this is again nothing but yesterday we have seen update thing. So from book ID we are from form we are getting the ID. So in the edit rating.html, if you see, we are actually hiding the this name ID. So just we need to get hold of this book ID. We are using name attribute and we are calling this request.id. So if I just go back to the main.py, the same thing request.form.id form of ID. And here the rating we are again from rating again if you see this is like a text element, so it's like change rating the submit. So here this is main thing. So here it is like we are passing edit in the URL and we are passing the data required so that we are getting hold of whatever the record in that we are getting hold of that record. Now the same thing, the next part is like we have to delete. So we have to delete anchor tag which I click. So yeah, the same thing now kind of stuff we will be doing. So the same anchor tag now it will be a delete tag. So okay, this also we need to define inside list element only. Okay, yeah, like this if we define inside a listed list element, so now we can get hold of the data of the ID what you are passing. Before if you see we have defined this href outside of this list element. So what's happening? It is unable to get hold of the data. So that's why it is unable to give us the correct. We are getting error whenever we click the URL not properly defined. So now we have to go back and to do the same thing now. So it should be delete index.html what delete the what's happening. Okay. So here generally we don't need so again just I'm taking this and in this also so now db dot session dot delete. So that way should be this one and it should we should commit that. And now we should run the template as index.html only. So we are not passing it. Or we can redirect to home page. Okay, what they did? Let me just check. Yeah, actually they redirected URL to home page. So I think there is no need of a post. Okay, there is no submit button. So yeah, and now we click delete. It will, the record will automatically getting deleted. So So the book ID we are getting from again the same index.html, because whenever we click on that anchor tag, we are getting hold of that ID, and we are getting hold of that, and using that ID we are selecting the record, and then record we are using the delete command to delete, and then we are committing. So again I just go here. So if I just refresh it, now it got I want to delete this. Now it got deleted. So even if I just check in database also, so it got deleted. So now just I want to check how it deals with again. If I just Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling. Okay, now what is the ID it is giving? If I just on edit rating, yeah. So if you see, automatically got incremented. The first ID is not there. So so it is taking in our if I just go back here, reporter, and we are actually what we are doing, we are ordering in the index, like in the home page we are ordering by book title. If I just change it to book ID, and if I just go back and refresh it, uh, so just so before we say Harry Potter at top right. Now if you see, because now we ordered by ID, so that's why it now the ID is like the Tale of Two Twins has 2 and it has uh, 3. So that's why we are getting this like the order got changed, because before it is like H comes first. That's why Harry Potter uh, comes top. So edit rating, just I'm checking again, change rating. Yeah, no, everything is working fine. Now we have changed, delete, edit, and everything. So that's what we have did. So everything we have, what we have learned, we have implemented, and we have checked that file database SQLite, SQL Alchemy. And SQL Alchemy is mainly because whether if we write here in Python code, so it is very easy to migrate to any database, other databases. For example, as of now it is SQLite, but we want to deploy it to PostgreSQL or SQL Server or MySQL, or to upgrade our website. So we don't need to change anything except this connection string. So for example, this will be SQL Lite. Now it can be a PostgreSQL, and there is some change uh, using this config file uh, configuration only. Apart from that, we don't need to change anything, because we are everything is written in Python. Whenever it detects whatever the database here we are mentioning, it automatically writes the query at the backend itself, and then it executes the query. So we don't need to explicitly write different queries, for example, for different websites. This is mainly useful when we want to upgrade databases depending on users. So for example, the SQLite cannot handle uh, greater than might be 10 to 20 users. But when we upgrade to Portuguese, it can handle multiple, like nearly it can handle 1 million users. So, so that's it for this. So SQL Alchemy, you can just learn more. Just go to the documentation and you can just check what other areas. So it is one of the mainly useful tool we can say. not only in Flask in web development, but any other things also we have used in our project also SQL Alchemy for Microsoft Server, I think MS Server. Yeah, Microsoft SQL Server. So, yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you.